Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to kick off our game against the Ocelots. Schoolcraft up here in Michigan. We, your Terra State Titans, are taking them on today. It is going to be quite an intense matchup. We have another short bench today, unfortunately, due to some injuries and missing players in Schoolcraft. Nationally ranked. A little scary, but cool to come play at their amazing facility. This is just one of the turf fields that they have at their disposal up here in Michigan. So we did make the about 2-hour journey up north. And you can kind of see on the sideline, our shirts are blowing in the wind. It is a very windy day. The windiest game of the season by far. Similar to how our field is situated, middle of a cornfield, so we feel all that wind. Nice open pitch here as well. Feeling all that wind, and ball kind of bouncing around in the back line. Ocelots do have it. Has a shot. I think that may have taken a deflection. Good. Final defending. That was Luke Avers. Goalkeeper turned utility player. Has played a lot of different positions for me. And I guess I should introduce myself here on the stream. It is your head coach, Andrew Chwalik, on comms today. Not only on comms, but down there on the sideline. So retroactively bringing you some commentary for this game. I will give you a little spoiler alert. So if you don't want to know how this game turns out or have no idea how it goes, there are a lot of goals. Quite a few. Unfortunately, not a lot for us. It is one-way traffic for most of this game. And we are, like I said, short in terms of substitutions available, while the Ocelots have quite a deep roster and all just pure talent. It was fun to see them play. And they are on our schedule for next season as well, so hopefully we'll be able to hold our own a little bit better as we reinforce our own roster. But some good defensive play to start us off in this match so far. And coming into this game, we knew, yep, nationally ranked team, so we're going to have to do something a little bit different. We don't expect to have much of the ball, really no possession at all. Our objective was sit in a low block, absorb as much pressure as we can, and then hopefully on the counterattack, maybe get a chance or two. You do see we have a substitute getting ready down on the sideline. That is Connor Hogger. And a shot from the Ocelots. Looks like our keeper did have that covered. That is Malachi right between the sticks today. You'll see Cohen Steinmetz on the sideline with me, unfortunately, due to injury. While we do make a substitution, Dylan Mangus trots off the pitch. Connor Hogger makes his way on. It will be a throw for Schoolcraft. You can see our team bus at the top left picture of your screen. That's how we get around to all of our away matches in Northern Ohio, Southern Michigan. And actually, this upcoming season, we have added a few new opponents. One in Northern Michigan, which thankfully they're coming to us this first season. The ball through. Read well by Wright. And for right now, the Titans absorbing some pressure, doing quite well. Avers gets a touch that he maybe not meant to do. That one sent down the line. That was by Brock Haney. But like I was saying, we do have a couple new opponents coming up next season. One in Northern Michigan, one in like Central Eastern Ohio. Some new programs coming up in some of these different community colleges, these different JUCOs, which is good. Right off his line quickly, had to be. Good decision making. Gets out there fast. And you kind of see our low block structure. We didn't have a whole lot of time to kind of figure out what this game plan was going to look like. We've never run a low block before. It was a new strategy we were really only able to work on for like 1.5 practices because our schedule has been so condensed with games. And a shot comes through. That does go in the back of the net. That is goal number 1 for the Ocelots. Just a nice low strike, had to be on a windy day like today. Just skims in there, that near post of Wright's. So 1-0 is your score. Schoolcraft takes the lead. So we held them to no goals in about the first 5 minutes of the match. Not too shabby. We still are learning how to play a low block. And again, we didn't have time to kind of figure out how that should be played. That's a new type of formation for a lot of our guys. Not necessarily something I love to do, but I knew coming into this match they were going to have a lot of possession, a lot of shots, probably a lot of goals as the ball goes over the top. And Wright tries to collect. It'll go off of him for a corner kick. Corner kicks will be interesting in our matchup today, with that wind just slamming against us. So it's going from left to right across the field. They decide to go short. Makes sense with the wind. Already some good defense right there. Forces them back. That was cool to watch for the Ocelots. Very composed team under pressure. Great in possession. Now filtering in through. There is a save from Wright. Goes out for another corner. Let's see me down there giving some instruction as we get another substitute ready. Ball does go long. You see Barledge trying to get on the end of it, and that is what we need to do. Try to get that counter attack going, just create something, maybe steal 1 or 2 goals, make things interesting. While we did have about a practice and a half to work on our low block, we didn't really have time to work on counter attacking. We have had some decent counter attacks in general, and the ball goes into the middle, skirts through everyone. Looks like that should be a goal kick. So we have been able to do some counter-attacking built into our actual formation and strategy that we do run, as you see Eli Hayes making his way onto the pitch. But counter-attacking out of a low block functions a little bit differently. You see Griffin Ringgold making his way off. So we do try to get a couple chances, and we get about 1 or 2 chances-ish in this match. Another little spoiler for you. Our score still held 1-0. And this is the furthest we've been down the pitch so far in possession. A throw from already. Lanja finds Hogger in the middle, looking for options. Has a little bit of space to turn. Still skating through. Tries to get through a few of those defenders, but can't make that last one miss. In a situation like that, I always tell my players, I want you to be creative, but you got to be creative at the right time and at the right place. So kind of trying to make something happen, but he did have some support, so I'd love to see him maybe pass that off to E or O and then make a run through the back line, try to get the ball back. A big switch, headed away. I believe that was Dylan Mangus. Dylan Mangus good in the air. Can judge a ball fairly well. You see Tobias playing a little bit defense as well, along with Hayes. But Tobias also amazing in the air. We always make sure he's up for all of our corners. And now Schoolcraft skating through and drops it back to the 18. Low hit shot, filters through a lot of legs and then into the back of the net. That is goal number 2 for Schoolcraft. 2-0. We're at about the 10th minute. And at this point, I'm still not too disappointed with the defense. I mean, certainly could be doing a lot better in the 18, letting too many players kind of skate through, and then having that ball find a player wide open at the top of the 18. Not ideal. But against a team of this caliber, happy to see us only down 2-0 at this point in the game so far. Avers on the ball. You see Bartledge checking too, draws the foul. Good play from him. Guess the camera just wanted to give you a quick glimpse of my frustration on the sideline. Tobias, not only good in the air, but has quite the leg on him. And sends it long. Tobias interested in potentially, after finishing his 2 years at Terra State, looking into attending four-year institution, and specifically Tiffin University. Gives me a good time to mention we do have a Dragon Next program for any interested recruits. That's a program where you attend Terra for 2 years and then you automatically transfer after your 2 years to finish your four-year degree at Tiffin University. You get a $16,000 scholarship each year that you're at Tiffin. Top of the 18. Ocelots maybe thinking about a shot. Good close down defense. But Ocelots still have it now in the 18. And a big strike. Oh, it looks like that does go in. Caught a couple of our defenders and keeper by surprise. I'm frustrated with that one. But that makes it 3-0. Schoolcraft leads. But that Dragon Next program, great opportunity to get a bachelor's degree at a very affordable price, because not only do you get that $16,000 scholarship each year, so your junior and your senior year, there are also a number of other scholarships available. So if you're a great student, get good academics while you're attending Terra, there are other scholarship opportunities there for you. And then on top of that, let's say you're a soccer player, just like Matt is, he could get offered a scholarship as well to play soccer at Tiffin, or what you maybe want to do is go be the kicker for the Dragons, which would be awesome. I would love to see that, and definitely something he's thinking about, and he has the leg to do it, so that would be really neat to see that. So he could end up getting a scholarship to play football there. So a cool program indeed if you are looking for a four-year degree but want to do it in an affordable way. The Ocelots into the 18. There's a nice save, takes a bit of a deflection. But Wright saves it, keeps it in play. You'll see Luke Avers playing kind of that central defensive mid position. Can't talk enough about how appreciative I am of him stepping up and playing in the field, although he is a goalkeeper by trade. Ball into the box, perfectly played in. That's exactly what you want to do. You want to feed that ball into the box, just right across the danger zone, right in front of the 6, for someone to tap home. And the Ocelots do just that. 4-0 is our score. Schoolcraft leads for about 15 minutes, just under that. And a big substitution for Schoolcraft, swapping out almost their entire team. Wouldn't that be a nice thing to be able to do? We just don't, unfortunately, have the depth in our first season with me at the helm. That will be much different. I am in the recruiting process now. We're going to have a good recruiting class coming in. I'm super excited to see those guys mesh with our returners. A big ball just sent down. We do have a kickoff play of sorts, which I wish we would run. That would be a good opportunity to do it now. Try to go long, get an opportunity out of it, draw a free kick perhaps. But yes, big thank you to Luke Avers for playing the field in his non-natural position, but he's done a great job so far this season when we've needed it, because we just have injuries and such a small roster that need those players to fill those spots. So thank you, good sir. Excited to see him in net next season. He does get some time I think in this game. But not only that, a few games in the future as well this season. But I'm looking forward to him being back in his normal home position between the sticks. It's quite the keeper. And no big chances yet for Terra. Honestly, we've rarely had possession, and the Ocelots have. Question for the crowd, though. What is an ocelot? I do enjoy saying it. It's kind of a fun, funky word. I know it's an animal. It almost looks like a cat or a dog of some sort. It's some type of animal that they have as their logo for their athletics team. I think it's a cat, if I'm not mistaken. Good name for a cat. Good defense there. We tried to play a kind of a low block zone. We tried to implement that with our practice and a half, which at moments we play well, but we just weren't able to practice it enough to actually have down the sequences and the position changes, because you kind of see it just gets a bit clustered. And then we're still allowing balls through like that. And another good shot finds the back of the net. That will make it 5-0. So even though there was a full team swap for Schoolcraft, still applying some great pressure, good possession, making it 5-0. One of the cool parts about being up at Schoolcraft was seeing their facilities, which are out of this world. I was talking to their head coach. He said, yeah, it took us quite a bit of time to kind of build up our program, but with the money that they were able to bring in from donors and having the time to build a program, he's built something pretty cool. But the sweet part is, like I was saying, their facilities, not only do they have this field, they have a field inside of a dome that is just to the left of this field. Then behind this field, they have some practice soccer fields. Just crazy. Quite a different view from our two grass fields back at Terra, which personally I do prefer grass. Like if you have a nice grass in there, you see Alondra trying to step in. And a good step from Tobias now, looking for his options. Yes, there's a good run from Ethan. I just have to get rid of that ball a little bit faster. Good recovery defense from Tobias. See Ringo getting ready to come in. But I do prefer grass. It's much better on the knees. You usually see less injuries statistically if you play on grass fields compared to artificial turf. But if you don't have good grass, oh, and skating through our defense again, kind of bouncing around in the box, still there. Looks like it does hit the back of the net. Another goal for Schoolcraft. Now, we're going to have to start a counter, because I think that is 6. If I do end up miscounting the number of goals, please hit me up in the comments and clarify it for me. But that is now 6-0. We're approaching the 19th minute in this game. Score 6-0. But if you don't have a good grass field, if you're not able to maintain it, then turf is definitely the way to go. Although, when you get turf, it is quite expensive. That's certainly the dream, being able to play on turf regularly. Having your own turf field, be able to practice on turf, oh man, that is quite a nice deal indeed. That was Bartlett drawing the foul. And Ethan, another utility player. I like to use his speed and quickness up top, but also good defender. So I wish I had the ability to play him a little bit deeper. The Ocelots now getting back into the 18. Big touch to keep it in. Kind of a cross in front of the box. No one there to get on the end of it. And Alondra just sends that out for an Ocelot throw. And the Ocelots, one of multiple teams that we play that are located in Michigan. We've got the Ocelots, Jackson College, Schoolcraft, which are the Ocelots. I think I remember the teams more by their official college name as opposed to their mascots, but for some reason the Ocelots just stick with me. I just like saying that name, like I said before. Wow, good ball through. Good way to continue your run. We got to start tracking that ball. Dangerously played in across the 6. That's what you want to keep doing. Looks like that may be a goal kick. You know, Delta College is on our schedule for a few of our sports at Terra State. But unfortunately, not a men's soccer program, at least not yet, not this season. And they do have a women's, so hopefully they can end up picking up a men's program at some point as well. Big swing. Decent enough touch. A good touch down the line from number 19. Nice turn. Thought about sending it into the box. Looking for his options. Will decide to keep possession. Smart play. Recycle it around. And I love having that central midfielder that they just played off of, because then you play to the middle, then you can work the ball outside. But I do like how we defended that by having one of our guys on the back of that player who's trying to receive in the middle, which ultimately led to a turnover, so a goal kick for us. So ideally, what we want to be doing with a low block is preventing anything through the middle. Anything through the middle, getting into our 18, it just makes it so easy for them. So I will say, they still have been having a fairly easy time getting around us as well on the outside, but I would much rather have them try to play around the outside and then work into the 18 from there. At least makes it a little bit more of a difficult transition for them to find those opportunities. Just as they're doing now. No way through, that's good. Keep forcing the ball back, good defense. Ball still hanging out over on that far side. And good defense, good transition, rotations from our guys so far in this little sequence of play. So now they'll try to swing. Now ball through. We have to close that down a bit quicker, but good defense. Mangus clears. And now you see some of my guys walking on the back line. We really need to condense the field, have our back line step up quicker. That would allow us to have a better chance of potentially counterattacking. And a big strike from the Ocelots actually goes off of the post. Needed to be cleared. You did see Tobias taking a quick break. I'm giving him some instruction for when he is able to get back on the pitch. I think he just took a small knock, but ends up being all right. Played in nicely to their center forward. Still in possession. Be a cross into the box. Thought about it. And a big strike from well outside the 18. We got 30 yards out. Not going to trouble right on that instance. Especially with this wind. Tough to get the power you need to get it there from that far. But then on top of that, you never know what will happen with gusty wind that we did have during this match. May as well give it a go. I wouldn't mind that from our side. But it's one of those days where it's so windy that you try to put a cone down for a drill, it will literally blow the cone away since we're on turf and it's so flat. About halfway through this first half. A little over that now. Score's still 6-0, so we've held them for a little bit of time, which is good. You saw me down there. Started with a t-shirt. And then with this wind, it did get a little bit chilly, so started adding layers. Ocelot's trying to get around that far side. They do get through a couple of our defenders in the 18, looking for the space to have a shot. It does have a strike. Good save there from right. Looks like he saw it late. That will go out for Schoolcraft corner. This corner could be interesting. We'll see if they choose to go close or if they want to try to send it into the box. The wind will be with them, so they could whip this ball in. Nope, they like to go short. They have a design play. You can see the ball filtering. You can see him stepping back, creating that space. Now sends it into the box. Ocelot does have a strike, still bouncing around in the 18. Ocelot player goes down, and a big strike goes over the bar. Goal kick for our Titans. Do have a player down. Hoping it's just a cramp and nothing more. Looks like that is Avers. Good touch. Was Barlage bringing it down. Also affectionately known as Ethan Barlagi. You can see the camera following Tobias, going to the line, getting ready to go back in. Those luscious locks. Too much space there to turn. Right in the middle, part of a low block. That's what you try to prevent. Now at the top of the D. Still in possession. And it looks like a soft shot does go in. Maybe it takes a deflection. Maybe there was a Schoolcraft player there. But sent away by Walanja. Barlage chasing. Great win. Does have a little bit of space to go. Ooh, just a big touch, unfortunately. I know he could have beaten that center back with his pace and little shifty movements he has available to him. Well, I do mention our camera quite a bit, and I wouldn't mind a shot there if I was that player or a coach of that player. Anywhere around that danger zone. Feel free to have a strike, my guy. Holding possession. Now filtering through into the 18. Just trying to see what comes from this attack. A lot of space. Has a strike. Takes a deflection. Walanja keeps it in. Ethan. Down the sideline. Barlage looking for options. Has two on him. Good challenge. What was that? 28? 25? Substitution. Tobias is coming in and relaying the instructions that I passed on to him. But I was saying how I do nag our camera often because it gets confused sometimes by bald people and just follows the bald person as opposed to the ball. You see Eli being substituted off. Does do fairly well in this game for the most part, but the good part is it seems pretty stable even though the wind is going so strong. So I will have to give kudos to that camera. Good job for at least being stable in such a windy day. Relaying a little info to Barlage. Trying to get a counter attack going, because if we're going to have one, it's probably going to be down his sideline. Looking for space, tries to feed it through. Great ball, it goes in. Sent in maybe just a little bit too high. And that goes right against the wind, so that is just going to get shot up into the air right away. I think that was sent out. Belanja switched to the right back side now. Yeah, we have Eli Hayes now in that kind of left wing back spot. Or holding the fort down with kind of a 5 in the back type of setup. A good step. I think that's Brock Haney trying to get around his man. Good defensive work. You see how high up their keeper is. And unfortunately, with such a windy day, even if we do win possession like here, and if we wanted to have a shot over him, I don't think the wind would even allow us to get it there. We're 30 minutes in to the first half. Score, I believe, is still 6-0. Again, if I'm wrong, someone can correct me. But we've had a good run where we've been pretty solid defensively so far. They still have had a few decent chances. There was another one, and as I say it, the curse of the commentator, the ball goes in the back of the net. That will make it 7-0. Ocelots lead 7-0. Hey, if you like goals, at least we're getting them in this game. Making a lot of substitutions for Schoolcraft. The Saints coming over. I'm having a conversation talking about some of the different game plan that we're trying to run. I think at this point, I've had the conversation. We're saying, well, we don't know how to do a low block, obviously. So I think we're just going to shift back to our original 4-3-3 position and see what we can do from there. I think that's Belanja on the far sideline, creating some good space, trying to find Lassane. Sent down the sideline. Good interception. Still trying to work it on that far side. And this is the furthest down we've been so far on the Schoolcraft side, but now they're going to try to counter. Big switch is on. Just hit that with a little bit more mustard. He'd be running down the sideline. We've got the overlapping run. Look at the hustle. It's fed to him. Is that number 14, number 16? I can't quite tell. This play is man onside. Ball into the box. No one, thankfully, able to get a foot on it. Now Lassane feeds it out to Barlage. Oh, and just an unfortunate touch from Barlage. Kind of gets stuck under his feet. Number 19, surveying options. This is number 14 here. Just recently brought onto the pitch. Space. That needs to be closed down a lot quicker. Because he could have, one, had a shot, or two, tried to feed the ball through as he did. He had way too much time to make that decision. Trying to find some space in the box. Closed down well in that instance by our Titans. Still working into the box, and another goal for the Ocelots. Hey, I told you at the very beginning, spoiler, there's going to be a lot of goals. 8 is the tally. 8-0. About 10 minutes to go before halftime. Still a lot of time for some more goals. And I know this is not a fun game to coach. It's not a fun game to be a part of as a player. Fans as well. Not the most enjoyable seeing your team concede so many goals. So I do appreciate my players still going out, trying to make anything happen. I know we had talked, just making it more of a training exercise. So if anything, work on our defending, our positioning, trying to hold a little bit of possession, good first touches, running into space, trying to look to counter, get the ball off a little bit quicker. We have Hayes getting ready to make it back on. And there is Bartlett making a good run. Keeper out of his box, so does need to head the ball. Good interception from Hogger, and Hogger just gets shoved off the ball. Should have been a foul. Yeah. I don't know if the ref tried to play advantage. Didn't have advantage, so I'd rather him just call the foul right away. You saw the player going through Hogger, so for anybody trying to understand how some fouls work and are called, if you're needing to try to get the ball but have to go through the player, it's still a foul. So even if you get the ball, if you have to go through the player to get the ball, that's a foul. You kind of see the dome, top left of your screen. We have another pitch on the inside of that dome. I think it's inflatable, which I am not 100% sure how inflatable domes work. So do those come down in the wintertime, or do you have them up in the wintertime so that you can play inside? I'm assuming that's how they have to work, right? Take them down in the summer? Who knows? We got to get a dome of our own to find a big sponsor. Any sponsors out there that want to bring Terra State a dome? I will say, if you want to sponsor us, there actually are opportunities available for our upcoming season. We have a lot of cool sponsorships available. I have a sponsorship deck with some different options that we can do. So we have a player of the game sponsor. We have some award sponsors. We have a headlining sponsor so you can get your brand. Ooh, and a ball. Looking around. Some good quick feet, a shot. High and wide. Goal kick. But if you want to get your brand on our practice kits, our practice shorts, be the headlining sponsor of Terra State Men's Soccer, that is available to you. But if you're wealthy and want to do something crazy, tax write-off, Terra State is a nonprofit. You can donate some turf to us. How about getting us a turf field? That's what I'd be pushing for, baby. Playing on a nice turf field like this. Because our guys don't train on turf. So it is a different type of experience playing on turf when you're not used to it, and right off his line quickly. It's a good defensive deflection. Swings the ball wide. It's with Walanja. Good footwork. Now Lucene has space to turn. And I was praising our camera. Don't go back on me, camera. Come on now. Follow the action. This interception played wide. Bartlett tried to control it. Just a little bit of spin on that ball. Cross sent into the box. Blocked well. Corner for the Ocelots. A little bit about our soccer program. Been around 3 years. I've been the head coach for 1. So this is my first season at the helm. They brought me in before this season started. Tried to rebuild something. Had no returners. Starting fresh, which is a blessing and a curse. I will roll out for Titans throw. While it was great to be able to have no returners off the bat, to create the culture, set up the foundation of how I want it to look, it would have made life a lot easier. Maybe had some different score lines if we had some of the returners from years before my time. But we've made do. I have a great group of guys. It's been a pleasure coaching them. We have a lot of fun together. We do a lot of team bonding activities. In preseason, we'll camp out on our practice field and then have a morning practice session after we grill some wieners, have some hot dogs, have a good time, some team bonding, getting to know each other, building some chemistry off the pitch. We'll do that. I run a sandwich shop up on Lake Erie with my wife. We'll do a team trip up there, feed all the guys. Sliding challenge in by Hogger. This is a free kick for the Ocelots. Since it is on this side of the field, I would be very impressed if they do try a shot, simply because the wind is going to be blowing so hard in their face. Yes, they elect to go short. You can see Hogger aggressively playing some defense. Draws the corner. Not only do we have a number of awesome team bonding things that we do throughout the season and throughout the off season. A good give and go situation, closed down well, sent out by Walanja. We have weightlifting program that we do with the guys in the off season. We have indoor, we have futsal. There's some, sliding challenge, just get the ball, but then gets the man as well. So a good example right there. He won the ball, but then also threw the man. It's a free kick for the Ocelots. We have a lot of fun together. On top of that, at Terra State, we have our own dorms on campus. They are immaculate, let me say that to start off. Compared to the dorms that I lived in when I was in college, different vibe. Nicer than a lot of the apartments that I see. So that is one good perk of joining us at Terra State. You can live with soccer players as well, something you can request during the application process. A lot of my soccer players all live together now. They have a good time. A lot of gamers. And when I say gamer, I don't mean esports vibe, which we even have esports. And we do partake in some FIFA, but they like to play board games and different games like that. They were on a Yahtzee trend for a while. They've been playing Trouble recently. I love to see it. Like I said, we have a great group of guys. And the Ocelot's kind of getting through, but filters through to right. We are approaching halftime, just a couple minutes away. Some of the other fun things that you'll experience while you're at Terra. A lot of activities that happen on campus. Actually, coming up, we have a dodgeball tournament, staff versus students. I was the first staff member on the list to sign up. Is it because I just want to throw dodgeballs at some of my soccer players? Potentially. But I do love dodgeball. Such a fun sport. Did that in intramurals when I was attending Walsh University. Always a great time. Did that at Trinity as well. The ball goes in across the 18. Looks like it might still be in play. It is. 8-0 is still the score. Can the Ocelots get one more before halftime? Because it has been all one-way traffic for the nationally ranked Ocelots. Good interception. It's not only dodgeball tournaments, we have a basketball tournament coming up. There's Dungeons and Dragons events that they do. We brought on a hypnotist for an evening of entertainment. Pretty neat. The Terra does a lot of cool student activities. You see, and a ball still in the 18, does go down. Referee, he's called the free kick outside of the box. Looks like that is the case. You see Connor, other Connor, getting ready to sub onto the field. That's Connor Manell. So yes, ball is outside of the 18. Looks like a lot of Ocelot players lining up, wanting to have a bite of it. It is a strike and defended well, cleared. I think that was Morales. Speaking of dodgeball, though, when I was in grad school over in Ireland, played in a dodgeball tournament. And I played a little baseball in high school. Good interception by Hogger. Good little interplay. Nice little sequence from the Titans. Has to continue to pass quicker. But a nice little glimpse of what we can do. But this tournament, since they do not typically have a lot of baseball going on in Ireland, I was throwing the ball much quicker than they were used to. So our team did end up winning the whole thing. We got a trophy. It was pretty wild. And that's exactly what will happen against this staff for students game. Represent for the staff. Bring home that trophy. I don't even know. Is there even a trophy? Who knows? I'm just here for the satisfaction. Showing the students who's boss. We also have a lot of great programs at Terra State. A lot of skilled trades, which is really cool. We have a lot of skilled trades majors on our soccer team. A couple welders, a couple electrical programs. Another free kick for the Ocelots. Taken quickly. The referee is indicating something. Yeah, it looks like the free kick would need to be taken further to the right. So I'll try that again. Looks like there's a little bit more time than I suspected before half. Maybe about 3 to 4 minutes now. But on top of that, Terra State is not pay to play. You show up, you want to play soccer, recruit you and bring you in, it's free. You don't have to pay anything. $0. Only thing that I'll ask is, one, you put in the effort and follow my coaching philosophy of EAT. Effort, attitude, toughness, and togetherness. That's one thing that I need. I do require from everyone, all of my players. And then the second part of that is try to help us fundraise in any way that we can so that we can get a little bit of gear, do a little bit more team bonding activities. Like I said, I do have sponsorships available, so that's how I was able to bring in some funds so we could get some training gear. Because it is completely self-funded, any of those things that we want to get for our program. And I lived in Ireland for the year, and I kind of know how the soccer systems work abroad. And pay-to-play is mostly just an American thing, unfortunately. A big, long strike from the Ocelots. Goes out for a goal kick. Pay-to-play is unfortunate, the system that we have here, with soccer just being the main sport in England, so has the subsidies, but that is halftime. And we'll just transition right back into the second half. And Connor tries a shot. Trying to make anything happen. I'm not 100% sure if I have tallied all of these goals right. And a lovely ball fed through. And it does find the back of the net, starting off quickly. You'll see Avers in net. He'll take the second half, try to get some experience in there for a freshman keeper. Oh, it looks like offside was the call. Yes, he was offside, so no goal. So we'll restart with a free kick. P.S. Avers, a freshman, getting him some minutes. Get some experience. But again, I was saying I'm not 100% sure if I have this right, but I believe the score is 8-0. There were just so many goals. A little bit tough to keep track of. But no goals for the Titans. 8 goals, maybe 9 for the Ocelots. I do know the final score, so once we get to that point, I'll be able to clarify where the goals were, at least the final tally. And we have a very young team. I believe we have 3 sophomores total. And our whole starting lineup, there are just 2 sophomores. All the rest are freshmen, all 9. It's getting them a lot of good experience throughout our season. You see that deep bench right there, the Ocelots. So deep that they have to have folding chairs next to the bench because they have so many players. That's awesome. As the Ocelots take their corner, go short, continuing their routine. Now the ball sent into the box. Great ball in. And there is Avers to collect that cross. Avers does have a leg on him. Can boot the ball pretty far. A little snag from the coach. You'll see Ringle up top, which I have adjusted our formation back to our 4-3-3. Now more so just working on our positioning, our transitions from side to side, trying to hold a little possession, creating some space, finding those passing patterns. The second half is a little bit better than the first half. And for some reason, we are more of a second half team, which I do not love, and we will be modifying and changing this upcoming season. I have a lot of different tactics that we'll be implementing to make sure that that is not the case, that we bring the intensity to both halves. See Brock Davis there getting ready to defend. Connor Manell trying to do the same. And too much space needs to be closed down quicker, and that's good. Matt does step to that. There is Morales who intercepts. And intercepted. What I liked Morales did there, he stopped, looked up, and then cut inside, but then should have fed the ball over to Already. We had a little bit more space to work on the sideline instead of turning over in the middle. But I really do like the composure that Morales plays with the ball, because then he'll draw a defender and then create a space for a teammate. And this is good. I'll let the Ocelots play as much as they want out on their wings. We can defend crosses. Don't love this, though. Played to his feet in our own 18. Slides across the box. And a big dive. Looks like that is saved. Good stuff from Avers. It's a tough save. Holds on to the ball. Good work from Luke. Sends us long. Ooh, and if he would have looked left, he had his man running down the left side with a lot of space. Wow, but a great ball anyway, across the other way. And who is in the middle? He does find it, someone in the middle. Great save from Avers. Keeps that score at either 8 or 9-0. Eventually dispossessed around the top of the 18. Might have a strike. Thought about it for a second. Oh, but fed in nicely. And a ball in. Oh, just misses his late runner. We do have a substitute getting ready. And it is Malachi Wright, who will now take the pitch. But instead of being between the sticks, he'll be on the field. See how he performs as a field player. And I'm excited to get to the point this next season where we'll have a larger roster. Not necessarily need to have our keepers playing on the field. We can keep them in the sticks. And another ball across. Yep, that's just such a great and dangerous ball. Fed to the top of the 6, tapped home. It's more of what we need to be working on. And defensively, we just need to track those runs a little better. and make sure that that player who does get to the end line is unable to get the ball across. See Griffin Ringo coming off as Wright makes his way on. So that's either now 9 or 10. We'll say it's 9, if my calculations are correct. 9-0 is your score. Ocelots lead. Wright with a good first touch of the second half, his first touch as a field player. And some good passing. That wind and spin didn't help there. Ocelots on the prowl yet again. Defended nicely this time. Sent away. We thought about a shot there, but no, crosses it. Lovely cross. Great first touch. Sent in, and another great goal. The exact same goal that was scored about 2 minutes ago, but on the other side of the 6. And a lovely first touch from that player. Brought it down, just sent a low driven cross into that danger area. And a good run from one of those Ocelot players to be there and to tap it home. That's how you score some easy goals. So now that looks like 10-0 is our score. They have gotten to double digits. Still a lot of time left in this second half. There's Brock Davis. Some good defense. And actually ends up getting it off of the Ocelot player, so it will be our throw. Ooh, and the ball given away dangerously in our own final third. Tobias trying to get it away. Still stays with Schoolcraft. Now a strike. Blocked. Still just dribbling through her back line and in the danger spot yet again, where the ball is just sent into the 6 and then tapped home again. And that should be 11-0. A lot of goals coming in quick succession now in this second half. Looks like a substitution being made for Schoolcraft. Maybe not a substitution, but a shift in formation coming from their head coach, having a conversation. Relaying his instructions. I mean, this is just an unfortunate matchup. Not a game we should even be playing. Schoolcraft being nationally ranked. Obviously, our programs are at 2 different levels, 2 different places. But the league has us playing them again next season as well. It will absolutely be a more competitive match. The Ocelots are looking again. Feeds the ball in. Oh, and a lovely little follow through and a big strike wide open one-on-one with the keeper. Left him no chance. Puts it in the roof of the net for goal number 12. 12-0 is now your score. But I will say, for the roster that we have, which is so small, and some of our players never really played soccer before this, because we, like I said, I was brought in right before the season, so I was really bringing in anybody that wanted to give it a shot so that we could have a soccer program this year. And we did. And I will say, credit to these guys, because there are some games where we held our own and probably should not have. Where we only lost by a couple, handful of goals, and scored some of our own. See Dylan Mangus getting ready to come back in. Not only that, got the wins over Lorraine. First official wins in program history. You see Avers protecting his near post as Ocelots are getting to the end line and continuing to just put that ball right on the 6. They do win a corner in this instance. That is Avers with the ball. Tries to send it long. Yeah, he can kind of see that one. Got caught up in the wind a bit. Ball fed through. Lovely. And it placed right in front. It goes off of the crossbar. Still with the Ocelots. Now a shot and a save off the crossbar again, this time off of a save from Avers. Great save. Still keeps it at 12-0. And I knew I wanted to get Avers in because at halftime, obviously, this game seemed out of reach for us. Just not having the depth available. So Avers would be getting a lot of shots. So I wanted him to get in there, see what he could do. Knowing that he was going to be facing a lot of shots, gets him a lot of good experience handling a game like this. And the Ocelots not pressing, so giving us a little bit of possession. Maybe he can build up a little sprinkle of momentum just to try to create any chances for us. Hogger trying to make a move to feed through right. The Ocelots spread it wide. Looking for an option. Getting into the 18. Good interception. That may have been Mangus. Still with the Ocelots though. Now it's just still way too much space at our 18. Kind of ping-ponging around. Still alive. Eventually sent away. Now that's at the point where our back line really needs to be stepping up much faster. And a big shot, but a good save from Avers. Did you catch that? Looks like maybe didn't have to make the save. Looks like it just went wide, so he shepherded it out for a goal kick. Substitution for our Terra State Titans. We'll start playing out of the back. Well, the Ocelots have had a few opportunities in the past 5 minutes or so. We have held firm at 12. I know the Ocelots sitting back, letting us just play with the ball. And then they have a trigger that you could see if there was like a misplaced pass or a bad touch. You kind of see how their front three start the press. It's a good line splitting pass, but just too big of a touch. Do have a player down. A big substitution coming for Schoolcraft. Looks like they're getting ready to swap out almost the whole team again. I'm sure the player that is down might be Tobias. Hope he's doing all right. We have Ringle subbing in. It looks like it was Barlage who was down. Walking off under his own power, thankfully. So Ringo will sub in for him. You see the wall of yellow getting ready to sub in. That free kick is taken. Looking for right. Big swing. Good time to get creative. Take your man one-on-one. A good shot and another goal for the Ocelots. It's just frustrating to me from the coaching perspective how, not necessarily that we get beat on the outside. Like, that's where I want my guys to go one-on-one as an attacker. I want to see that happening. And I know that that will be happening for other teams as well. So we got to work on our one-on-one defending when we're on the wings. However, our defending on the wing wasn't too bad. The problem is that there is a ball that gets sent into the middle, and someone can so easily receive the ball, take a touch, look up, and then have a shot. If they have way too much time, they should not be able to receive that ball. But that is another goal for Schoolcraft. That will make it 13. 1-3. So 13-0 is our score. And given away right away. Have a shot if you have the space. Not closed down quickly enough. Tobias does get there, and that pass right there. At the penalty spot. He's able to receive that, take a touch, and then determine what he wants to do. Not acceptable. You see their center forward shifting over nicely. So you could tell the shift was on. So let's see where the ball goes. Goes all the way through. Look at that. Lovely play from them. But it is just too easy. They're not even working very hard to make those passes come off. Right, drops the ball back. To have a little bit of possession here. It's Mangus. And that looks like... Not sure what happened there. I think that was Manel. Maybe just kicked the ball out. So it will be a corner kick for Schoolcraft. I don't think we've gotten a single corner kick in this match. We definitely do not have a shot on target, or maybe even a shot in general yet. And now he's just dribbling into the 18, finds that guy so easily, who still takes a touch, has time to skirt around the ball, then have a strike. A lot of things to work on. But I will tell you one thing we're not working on anymore is having a low block. We've been playing better without trying to play a low block. Just back in our original formation. Goal kick taken short by Mr. Avers. Morales spreads the ball wide. Fortunately, we're not able to get on the end of it, so it will be Schoolcraft throw. About halfway through the second half. Score remains 13-0. I believe the Ocelots won the entire league or division last year. I mean, not surprising. They're quite the squad. Strike good save from Avers at his near post. Now into the box. Oh, filters through. is cleared away. You see on the sideline, looks like maybe a backup keeper or some type of player trying to be a keeper, perhaps. Does the keeper fall, where he just falls on the ball? I do think that is always entertaining, when the keeper maybe just starts to waste a couple extra seconds by grabbing the ball and then falling on top of it. Ball into the box, that time cleared away. That was good. We just need to make sure we're tracking those runners. We're all ball watching. All of our defenders. And then not following any runs that come into the box. There's probably at least 8 or 9 goals for the Ocelots scored in that manner. Oh, and how does he have that ball wide open? Luckily, it goes over the bar. Goal kick gets us back underway. Good interplay from Schoolcraft. Now at that byline, tried to send the ball in. Good tackle. I think that was Manel. No, that was Mangus. Good tackle from Mangus. We got 2 balls on the pitch. Referee should have stopped play for that. Good footwork from that player right there. Yep, and that's what I'd want, a big swing or reverse. Yep, just like that. You can see everybody trying to switch. Now has the space. Wouldn't mind a ball put in there, but yeah, I didn't have any strike partner to find. There's some good closing down, forcing him to find a pass outside. Now, how does he receive that ball? Maybe he took a deflection, just didn't get a full shot off, but a good save by Avers, where he needed to be. And a big ball down. Now Wright does have something to chase. Oh, and a little bit of miscommunication between the left back and the keeper. Wright was almost there, almost able to get on the end of it. And a big strike and a good save. A double save in the end from Avers. Got over to his right well to make that save, and then gets up quickly enough to then gather from the second shot. Right again with a little bit of space. Brings it down this far sideline. Just gets bodied off the ball. A little bit of applied pressure from the Titans. Ocelots do well. Now with space down this left sideline. Good defense from Melanja. Forces his man to go backward. Now who's stepping out here? Davis. Ball goes in across in a dangerous area. Cleared away. 13-0, still our score. In favor of Schoolcraft. Not a single shot yet for the Titans against this nationally ranked team. Maybe a chance for a counter. Chance was there. That is, Hogger didn't really have too many options on the counter, unfortunately. Typically, he'd be looking up for Barlage. We do have a player down. Unfortunately, we have Barlage off as well. Now we're getting close to having only 11 players remaining, at least available to me to use, which we've seen before in the game where we've needed to play a man down just because we don't have enough personnel. So you see Hayes coming in. That is Dylan Magus coming off, and another player who is fortunately hobbling off with the help of Tobias. I believe that is Griffin Ringel. And Barlage is coming back on. You can kind of see him still hobbling, so he's not at 100%. But now we just had 2 players come off injured. So we really don't have anyone else that we can use. We're down to 11 at this point. We have had a good sequence of play the last 10 minutes or so. Maybe the last 15. Not really any goals scored. Some decent defensive work. Still some errors here and there. But then a couple good saves from Avers. We actually got the ball a little bit further down. It's at least gone across the half. A little bit of progress. Ooh, an unfortunate touch by O. Yeah, just some wicked spin on that ball, you can see. You can see Ringel getting checked on by the trainer. The Ocelots down below. I'll give you another little spoiler. Thankfully, he does end up being alright. Nothing serious. And you see again, we're just ball watching. Actually, we're just ball chasing, and that gets us so tired. Ball in. Lovely ball in. They're good defensive work on that situation. But if you just watch the ball and just end up chasing it, you're going to get very tired. Our guys do get conditioned, especially if you go through our preseason program. You'll be in good shape, but not good enough shape to be chasing the ball for 90 minutes. Couple substitutions for the Ocelots. Gonna try down this left sideline. The ball sent in. Lovely sliding challenge. That was Morales. Potentially a goal-saving challenge. Fancy footwork. Tries to play the ball through. Good interception. Be Barlage on the ball. Driving down, a little space to work. Could be a quick counter. Looking for right on the far side. Played through. Oh, and just unable to get there. That was Hogger who played that through. That was our best chance of the game so far, if you can call it a chance. Good counter opportunity. Will be interesting next season. Ocelots come down to play at our place, which is a grass field. And they surely play other teams who have grass fields. But all their fields, at least on campus, are turf. So we'll have to see how they adapt. There's a free kick awarded to the Ocelots. The corner of the 18 on that far side. Well, played short, looking for a way through. Oh my, and how does he receive that ball? That is just disappointing. Just making these short passes in the 18. Just need to be more aggressive. Ball goes all the way across. Player does keep it in. Good hustle. You like to see it. Sent away. Auger takes it away. Trying to find some space. Right is available on that far sideline. Doesn't really have a great way to get through it. But Auger looks like he was going to beat his last man, so gets dragged down. First yellow card of the match. It goes to a Schoolcraft player. Auger, one of the dangerous players on our team. Great foot skills. So what do we do here? Probably not in shooting range. Probably not in shooting range on a good day with no wind, or even with wind that would help you. But in a day like today, the wind is not going to help a shot like this. We have Lassane over the ball. Usually can provide pretty solid service. And it's a great ball in, headed away. Good tackle. That is Brock Davis. Another good step from Brock Davis. Intercepted. Matthew Tobias. Auger wanted the big swing. They'll still come right back at us. Approaching about 10 minutes to go. Davis intercepts that, but it finds a slot foot. Tobias, good challenge in the 18. Solid tackle, had to be. Right to Auger. Auger, some fancy footwork, tries to get by two defenders, only gets past the first one. Good touch. Gets down that sideline. Lanja gets a touch on the ball. And it sends the ball into the box, actually far across the box. Does find the player he was looking for. Now at the 18, yep, right at top of the 6, and another goal. The exact same goal that was scored many times in this game already. And I believe that is 14? I've lost count, not going to lie to you. I think that's goal number 14. At the end of the game, I'll give you the score update of where I know it does end. Another goal for Schoolcraft. 14-0 is our current score. Still around 10 minutes to go in this soccer match. Wouldn't have minded if we sped up the clock a little bit in this second half. Guys are tired, they're injured. Good fitness drill. At least, hey, the more practice you're on the ball, the better. We do give it away. I would take a touch and a hit. Tries to find his guy on the wing. Thinking about cutting in. Still with it. Toward the top of the D. Good triangle. Finds a man, good touch inside. Has a strike. It is a good hit, but a good save. Avers knocks it down and is able to gather. And I guess the camera's getting a little confused, but ball sent down by Avers. Wright was trying to find it. Looks like that probably went out for a throw, if I had to guess. Dylan Mangus able to come back in. Ocelots make a substitution as well. A little bit of a higher press from our Titans. We do win the ball, but no free kick is awarded. Apologies, the throat's getting a little scratchy. Ocelot's find their center forward yet again. Lovely little like back heel type of flick. Tried to get through Yoni, but Morales does enough. And a strike. We're top of the crossbar. Looks like Avers would have had that covered either way. Play out of the back after that goal kick. Good, strong challenge. Nice little move from Hogger. Maybe try to release it to Lysane a little bit faster. Ends up getting caught in possession. Nice interception. I think that was Barlage. And I thought he was going to play it to him a little bit sooner. Does get there and, wow, chips it over top of the keeper. Nice acrobatic, athletic play. Puts another goal in the back of the net. That is 15 at this point. 15-0. And just another instance of not tracking our run quick enough. So 15-0 is the score. And from a coaching perspective, I'm not necessarily upset with the score line or with the effort that's put in. Clearly, two different programs, like I had mentioned before. We're scrambling to have 11 healthy players while they have 2 full teams available to them at all times. I was a bit more frustrated at the beginning when and then right actually here, almost able to find the ball as it filters through the keeper. But we were trying to play in a new system, which just didn't execute quite well, so that was a little bit frustrating. Definitely some errors from our back line, from our defensive unit. And, ooh, Connor Hogger gets taken down. Free kick for the Titans. But just the simple things that we need to work on. Tracking our runs is a big one. Number one takeaway from this game. Just need to put in the extra effort to follow those runs. And I know it's one of the most difficult things to do. To constantly be aware of that. Ball filters all the way down for a goal kick. So the frustrating part is just us not doing the simple things. Scoreline, irrelevant. But I can tell you, when tries to get by his man, just loses the ball for a second. But I will tell you, next season, this will not be happening. You will not see this scoreline against Schoolcraft again. It will be a much more competitive game. And ball at the top. I'm not sure if that was maybe a shot, but does still stay with the Ocelots. I think that is Magus trying to defend. And he is injured. So doing his best. That looks like the ball did cross the end line, even though both players maybe thought not. So a corner is taken. Ocelots go short. Gets around the man quite easily. And now so much space, so much time. Has a strike. Good save. Avers gets down quickly. We have another player down. Whoa, and the camera getting a little crazy. I shouldn't have praised him today. He's getting too excited. To see what's going on back over there. We still have our player down. I want to remember, and I think it's Brock Davis who does hurt his ankle here. No, it was Brock who had an injury previously. He hurt his ankle, so he's able to make his way back onto the pitch. Not sure if that was Morales. The player is up. Doesn't need to come out, thankfully. Perhaps it was O. Just giving O a break. Thankfully, seems to be alright. Just a few more minutes remain in this match. Excited to get this one over. Get back on the bus, head back to Terra. Ooh, and a quick ball maybe would have been on if Davis could have played it up to right. And Davis using his body, playing strong. I think getting confused with a couple bald heads that way. I thought player does go down. Right, checking on him. I think maybe the head of either Mangas or the coach for the Ocelots. Confusing the camera. It looks like there was a yellow card. I think that was Davis that picked up that yellow card. I think that was his first of the season. It is the first yellow card for us in this match. Only 2 have been shown so far. 1 for each team now. No, lovely little back heel. Morales defends it well. Well, kind of going in the middle, and it is Avers who makes the save. Lassane, what can he see? Thinking about playing Connor. Over the top, he did. Oh, and just couldn't get it to him. He would have been onside. Good opportunity there. And that is how I like to play. If you have the space and time as a midfielder, I want you to look up and see if you can play any line breaking passes. Ball cleared this time. Now ball through, looking for Hogger again. Unfortunately can't find him. Now our guys are tired. Of course, 90 minutes is tough in general, but then just chasing the ball through, and a pass goes into the back of the net. The referee does call it offside, so that goal will not count. We're just about at time. I think I may have miscalled the score because the end is 16-0 as we're about at the end of this one. And I think that is the final whistle, perhaps? No, we're still playing. Just saw the gesture from the referee. And that should be full time. 16-0 is the score here against Schoolcraft.